TORP here. Hey, I just got done watching the live 12 days ago from Real Talk with Roy, the channel here on YouTube for those of you in Real Linda. It is a very good channel, actually. Funny thing about this channel is when I first started, well, actually, I didn't start watching it. I started watching Flex's Lounge because I was invited in, and oops. So, yeah, it was kind of weird for me because I thought that night that Roy was kind of on my ass, you know, and I didn't really know why. Now, I can't go back that far in time because too much shit happens here on YouTube. Just way too much. Hard to keep up with. Hard to get everything right all the time. I'd have to save and download every video and watch it back verbatim. I ain't doing that, and I can't do it. I've got ADD, folks. You know, and if you're going to get hung up on something that happened 2 months ago, it'd have to be a banger, as we call it in the gig community. It'd have to be a banger for me to remember something like that. But it seemed like Roy was on my ass that night. My first night, or maybe my second night, on Mr. Flex's Live, but in the lounge, not the ride along, obviously. But I'm watching this, Real Talk with Roy. It is, what do you call this? It is what it is. It's on Real Talk with Roy. And I just left a comment on there. I liked the video. I didn't expect this at all by any stretch of the imagination because he's got Dino on there. And he's going by Nostradino. If I fuck that up, that's what it is. That's what I'm reading. Kind of like with Necro. See? See what I did there? It's Necro. No, it's Necro. No, it's Necro. When you are on the internet, do you realize that when you are corrected by somebody, the first thing that goes through your head is shock? It's like, what do you mean it's not Necro, it's Necro? These guys in the lounge were so ready. Well, not these guys. I shouldn't say, we're not going to generalize here. Flex was the first one to, if Flex had not pointed out that I mispronounced it, his first assumption was, I said it wrong on purpose. Now, some of you might think, oh my God, are we still talking about this? Yeah, we are. Guess why? Because they are. So I will. Yeah, why not? Right? You know what? This is a game of ping pong. I'm knocking the ball back again. If they keep knocking the ball to me, I'll keep knocking it back. Well, I like what Dino was saying because honestly, it hadn't crossed my mind what he was saying, but it was already there. If that makes any sense. What I'm saying is that I read it and I pronounced it the way I thought it was pronounced. See? And then later on, I found out that it was a nickname. I'm like, you know what? You guys could give a motherfucker a heads up. You really could. What would be the big fucking deal of giving a motherfucker a heads up? The shit that could have been avoided. Now, I said it before, I'll say it again. One more time. If I was to actually want to say the N word, I would say it. You don't even get flagged on YouTube for saying that. It's not hate speech if it's used in freedom of speech. It's not hate speech. It's a word. Hate. Well, y'all can look up hate speech. I'm not gonna school you on that. You're a bunch of grown ass men. You know what hate speech is. What I said was a mispronunciation because, and look at the word. Just look at it. How it's spelled. Anybody can mispronounce that. Anybody. On any level. Hell, you could even understand the lingo and still screw it up if you've been drinking. That's not my excuse. I just read the word. And that's what it looked like to me. So, I think Dino got it right. And this is why I said in the last video or the one before that, that with what happened between Dino and I was a push. That was a push because we got started off on the wrong foot, but we kind of sort of half-ass fixed it. I got no beef with the man whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I find him interesting. I mean that in a good way. Don't go riding. Oh, he finds you interesting. There's another word taken out of context. You say, oh, well, he's interesting. Or, no, he's interesting. I mean it in the second one. He's interesting. Yeah. It seems like he's got a couple of marbles in his head that are working. See, that could be misconstrued too. I'm the same way. Dino, I'm the same way. My shit doesn't always work exactly how I intend it to work. So no, I did not mispronounce the name on purpose over and over again. What I did was listen to a bunch of guys talk about what kind of a racist I was, and I was trying to be mean and insensitive, and Flex doesn't have that on his channel. We're not going to have that here. The Mother's Den just came alive after Flex brought that up. What I find interesting is Dino got it right again on this live, where he says, well, maybe Flex should have just said, you know, his name is actually Alex. That's not a hard one to fuck up. Could you use Alex? Because we're not hearing you right, or you're saying it wrong. And if you're being derogatory and an asshole, we'll find out real goddamn quick if you can't say Alex and you stick to the other one, which he would not do. Mr. Flex was real obvious. He didn't want to say, pronounce his name right. It's not Necro, it's Neek-ro. Now, see, I'm getting confused. I've said this so many times, I can't remember which one's even right. But I think I do because it's not pronounced with a C, it's pronounced with a K. Right. I think I got it right this time. But I think that Dino just knocked it out of the park when he said, and I've finally heard somebody say it besides me, which is, why didn't Flex just tell me, dude, if you can't say his name right, this looks really bad. Just call him by Alex, man. I mean, because what you're saying right now could potentially come out as offensive. And we don't need that on my channel. We don't need that on YouTube. We don't need that anywhere in the world. It sounds offensive the way you're saying it. You sound like you're trying to go at him, or trying to make fun of him, or trying to make fun of a race indirectly. Just call him Alex. If you can't call him Alex, then you're off my fucking life. That's what he should have said. If you can't call him Alex, get out of my life. I'd say I wouldn't deal with it either. Like, man, is this guy for real? He's going to play that word out like that? I said, I didn't even know what the hell his name was. I just now found out about, 3 lives later that his name was Alex? I was like, well, why didn't y'all just fucking tell me that? I'd love to call him Alex. I think he's a cool dude. I mean, he's the only one that's actually kind of like right in the middle. He doesn't really get on anybody. He just kind of talks DoorDash and what his night's like. Which is what I thought fucking Flex was doing until I realized that Mr. Flex is trying to light the fire. Sure the hell wasn't me. I lit a fire with Dino. Yes, I did. But I cleared that up. And Dino got it. He figured it out. He's like, he listened to me at some point. And I think he must have, because he's not badgering me over apparently calling him, I was quoted as calling him an asshole at some point. All right, you know what? If we're going to go back 2 months, Dino, if I called you an asshole, maybe that's because I saw you as an asshole at that time when I first saw you. Mr. Negative is what I was calling you behind your back. Not on YouTube, but in my mind, like, why is he so negative? I got over that. I moved on. You don't seem like Mr. Negative. You seem like Mr. Reality now. And what I mean by reality is, you're kind of calling DoorDash for what it is. It's a manipulation. We'll leave it there. So I can't argue with the man on that. It is a manipulation. That's why everybody's trying to figure it out. What's the best way to do it? Self-explanatory. Now, with the car, Dino, one thing. I noticed in this live that nobody brought this up. Your car was overheating. It's got a leak. You got to do a pressure test, and I agree with all that, because sometimes it's easier, instead of throwing money at the car. Is it a hose? Is it a water pump? Is it a head gasket? Is it this? The overflow, I get that, the reservoir. We used to call that an overflow back in the day. Something I learned a few years back, because I am a car dude, I'm an enthusiast through and through. The intake gasket, which I was like, no, there you know, what? No, it's intake, not outtake. Well, guess what happens if the intake gasket goes cracked? It shoots out antifreeze or coolant. And what is that going on top of? The manifold, which is hot as fuck. It's right above the exhaust. So it evaporates quickly. So if it was coming out of there, you wouldn't even see it. It wouldn't have to hit the ground. It'd be going up and to the side, but it evaporates before it hits the ground. And it doesn't even matter what the temperature is outside, because the manifold's hot, a few minutes after you turn on the car, even in the winter, you get up to 120, 160 degrees, that's just going to evaporate. You're not going to see it. My 2 cents on your heating problem, I hope that helped a little bit. I'm sure you got it figured out by now, because this thing's 12 days old. Your car's probably fixed, but I just wanted to throw that in there. So getting back to one last note, I did notice there's a lot of people trying to tell me that Mr. Flex and Cherry Picker are trying to be the goats. Because I think what happened here is that they, because I see the mocked up videos are still popping up. The piss poor messages, the non-communication where it's their way or the highway, and they're trying to get some views off that, I guess. I mean, it is YouTube after all. Everybody wants views at some point. I mean, 4 is better than 1. You know what I mean? 4 views is better than 1 view. Let's not lie. So, I can't damn him for that. I can't damn him for that. I mean, yeah, I like views too. Who doesn't like to be heard? No big deal. I mean, who'd be knocked for that? But I do see at some point, and that's one of my dogs in the background crying. It has what the hell is that? Some sort of a liver problem, and it's whenever it pees, it screams like that. Yes, we're getting it figured out and get it taken care of. It's a process. So anyway, no, he's not being mistreated. The poor guy's got a liver problem, and it hurts when he tries to pee, or it's a lot to go through. Kind of like YouTube's a lot to go through. It is a massive manipulation and misrepresentation of oneself to others, because people are going to see things the way they want to see them, and when you start listening to them, it makes you mad because they're not seeing you correctly. And when they don't see you correctly, you try to shut them up or tell them what you actually did, what you actually meant, and then it dawns on you. You're wasting your fucking time. It's a waste of resources, of mentality, because you could be doing something else besides trying to explain yourself to a box of trolls that got 2 left feet walking circles, or just plain out flat out a bad fucking attitude. See, the last 15 years I've been on YouTube. And no, that's not a resume. It's a fact. Been on YouTube for 15 years. This is nothing new whatsoever. They start diving into your personal life. They start diving into threats. They start diving into sock accounts. Well, that's what we used to call them, sock accounts, which are now called trolls. See, we didn't have trolls back in 2005 when YouTube started. We had sock accounts. Back then it was a lot easier. You could create 100 sock accounts, no big deal. Nowadays you got to verify everything and push everything. You're lucky you get 2 or 3 of them and that last, or that people don't block. So, it's kind of a waste of time. I think I still have a little over 100 sock accounts that are active, but as far as I know, I haven't tried. But the way they've done it is you're not going to be able to open those up because the emails are all shit. I can't remember those passwords of those emails. I can't remember, because you try to log in, what happens? The password isn't saved anymore. I said, fuck, I don't know what the password was. I was trying to change them all the time because YouTube will make you change your password. Or the email password has been changed. Or you got to renew it. So thank God I'm not into that shit anymore, because that is such a passive waste of time to come up with all these accounts to make your point. If you can't make your fucking point by one account, then you ain't going to make your point by any account, because nobody really listens to sock accounts anyway. Kind of like Cherry Picker. He's got a voice, he's got an account, and he's got a bad attitude. The fuck was wrong with me listening to him to begin with? This man has nothing to say besides, go fuck yourself. I'm like, dude, I could have got that anywhere on YouTube. All you gotta do is piss somebody off, and there you go. You don't need a sock account to piss somebody off. Just be yourself. You can piss them off that way. I don't know why Cherry Picker wastes his time. But I digress. If he's having fun mocking me up and doing shit and saying my name wrong and all that with Flex, I don't think that's a waste of their time. I think that's how they're getting each other off right now. Hey, who am I to say that's not fun for them? Why should I take away their entertainment? I can't do that. Besides, I don't think that they're mad. I think that they're butthurt because they know that I'm right. They know that Dino's right. They know that Roy's right. They know that oh my God, here we go. Here's my ADD. Hot Facts with Robert Reese is right, and the DoorDash Revolution is right. See, there's more people coming up right. And before anybody gets the wrong idea, I'm not saying Dino's on my side or he's telling Flex he's wrong. I just heard Dino talk sense with Real Talk with Roy on a live that was made 12 days ago, which I'm just now getting to see. It's called It Is What It Is on Real Talk with Roy's channel. And I really, see, this is what happens when you assume. I told Flex not to assume. And here I was doing it. I figured I'd go through the timeline, roll my mouse. I saw Dino's face. I was like, I gotta hear this. I thought Dino was gonna blast me. Quite the contrary. Apparently, Dino is a real man. Let me clarify. Dino is a real man that actually can think for himself. I think that's why he pissed me off in the beginning, because I knew he could think for himself. The problem was so negative. But then I thought I told you guys I was new. I didn't get to know the man. That's on me. That's on me. I take that. There's no apologies here, but I'll take that responsibility. I didn't get to know Dino before I called him out. So, learned my lesson there. Listen to a man for a while. Ask him some questions. Listen to him. Get to know him first before you judge him. Me? I got judged fucking 1/10 of a second of a just bam from Flex. So the fuck I don't go over there anymore. I ain't gonna go back up. Why the hell? he just flat out don't like being wrong. He don't even listen to nobody. I'm sure he listens to his friends when everything is going smoothly. And I just wondered what's going to happen when somebody else, like Real Talk with Roy, comes up there and speaks their mind on a Flex lounge, and Flex don't like what they're saying. Because he's already basically all but either lost Roy, lost me. I wonder who's next. I know he lost the DoorDash Revolution. I know he lost Hot Facts with Robert Reese. I know he lost Marcus. Now, is that to say we won't show back up one day? Who the hell knows? Maybe it's Flex's turn to man up. Maybe he should say, you know what? Maybe that video that TORP made about me, maybe I should take that into consideration. Maybe I should get TORP up on a live on the lounge and ask him, what the fuck did you mean by saying that word the way you did? What did you mean? Let the man talk, Flex. That's all I ever said. Let me talk. You never asked me, brother. Not once. You told me. Here we are. All right. That's the dog. It's still alive. Excellent. 18 years old. It's like he's been on YouTube his whole life. He's just all banged up. You see the strap on it? This is hard. Sometimes things don't go the way you want them, but you gotta watch. And when you watch, it hurts. All you can do is your best. That's something I wish Flex would do. I wish he would do his best. I think he's got ADD when it comes to reality. TORP out.